You've probably noticed this voiceover and B-roll video vibe all over Instagram and TikTok by now. It looks completely effortless, right? Until you try to make one yourself and realize there are a million tiny decisions that slow you down. I used to think the exact same thing when I started out. That's exactly why I want to walk you through my whole process for making these videos, including one tool that's changed how I turn long footage into snackable clips. Stick around and I'll show you 2 practical ways to trick yourself into doing the hard parts, plus a step-by-step workflow you can actually use. Before you even hit record, you absolutely must decide what this particular video is even about. This voiceover style is perfect for routines, step-by-steps, and little narrative vignettes that benefit from you just being present. The magic of this format is you don't have to stare into the camera constantly, which cuts filming time in half. If you want prompts, start by giving AI context about who you are and what you actually do. Next, add constraints and clear goals for the type of content you want to generate. Ask the tool for a list of video ideas, making sure to request suggested B-roll alongside them. You will get the obvious ideas, but also fun, unexpected suggestions to spark your creativity. Use those generated ideas to start planning exactly what footage you need to capture. Once you have a solid concept locked in, the next crucial step is to create a simple outline. This is optional if you are filming something super routine, where you can basically just document as you go. But for story-heavy or lesson-driven pieces, an outline genuinely saves you significant time and mental energy. For a day-in-the-life piece, write down your schedule and list the specific B-roll scales you need under each block. That 3-shot rule, wide, medium, and close, is absolutely everything for compelling footage. Speaking of B-roll, always try to capture those 3 distinct scales for any key action you perform. The wide shot gives context, the medium shot brings the viewer into the action, and the close-up shows off all that great texture and detail. For example, if I'm editing a work clip, I'll have a wide of the room, a medium of me typing, and a close-up of my hands on the keyboard. It's essentially one action filmed 3 different ways, making it much easier to stitch together and keep viewers fully engaged. While you're filming, please do not ignore the ambient sound around you. Even with a professional voiceover, sprinkling in a few real-world audio moments really sells the authenticity. Those little audio textures are what truly sell the feeling of authenticity in the final cut. You should also be using a reliable music library for all of your background tracks. I highly recommend using a service that provides you with commercial-safe options to avoid any copyright issues later on. Pro tip, start saving songs you like from your Explore feed now, so you aren't hunting for the perfect track when you go to post. Okay, filming is done, so now we need to shift our focus to organization. This is the step that most people skip, but trust me, it will save you hours of frustration later on. Immediately, make an album labeled for that specific shoot on your phone and drop all the related clips right into it. As you make more videos over time, create recurring folders like working, cooking, filming, and meetings. If you edit on a desktop or work with an external editor, get those folders synced up on your preferred cloud service. Frame.io is fantastic for big teams that need version control, but it can be too much overhead for a solo creator. The ultimate point here is to build a reusable library so you can stop refilming the same basic shots over and over. Now that the assets are sorted, let's talk editing, which is where most people tend to get completely stuck. We need to answer the big question. Do you record the voiceover first, or do you drop the clips onto the timeline first? My personal go-to method, which I strongly recommend, is to record the voiceover first. Make sure you write out your script, using AI tools like Notion or ChatGPT if you ever get stuck on the wording. For those short reels, I always draft a very tight script that matches the visuals I already pictured in my head. Recording the voiceover first allows you to edit the visuals directly to the audio rhythm, which is significantly faster overall. Record your final voiceover wherever you feel most comfortable, whether that's on your phone or your desktop computer. If you are primarily on mobile, CapCut is an incredibly solid application for both recording and the initial edits. Honestly though, I lean towards using a small external microphone for the cleanest possible audio capture. If you are editing on desktop, simply record a quick voice memo on your phone and airdrop it across. You can also record a talking head clip as a backup when you're unsure if your B-roll will carry the entire narrative. Once you have that finalized voiceover track, the very next thing you do is edit the audio track itself. Trim out any unnecessary breaths, remove those distracting filler words, and clean up any long, awkward pauses. This audio lock is the biggest time saver because you know the exact duration each visual segment needs to occupy. On desktop, using a transcription tool like Descript makes this incredibly simple since you can edit the entire recording by simply deleting text. Descript is fantastic for text-based edits, but it isn't perfect because it can be pricey and won't automatically find your viral moments. That is precisely where Vizard steps in and why I personally started relying on the tool. Vizard automatically scans your long videos, finds the highest performing shareable snippets, and serves them up as ready-to-post clips. Instead of me manually scrubbing through hours of footage, Vizard surfaces the most memorable moments for me to quickly choose from. It's much more than simple clip extraction. It puts your long-form content on autopilot to become ready-to-go short-form content. Comparing workflows, CapCut is great and free with many effects, but it can feel clunky when repurposing long-form content on mobile. Descript excels at audio cleanup and transcript editing, but it certainly won't automatically find the 10 best clips from your hour-long recordings. Storage solutions like Frame.io and Drive are helpful for collaboration, yet they don't reduce the manual work of actually selecting the best clips. Vizard sits right in the middle by finding the hot moments, letting you fine-tune them, and then scheduling and publishing the content for you. I truly don't want this to sound like a hard sell, so here is exactly how I use it. I upload the raw, long-form file right after a shoot. The tool immediately gives me a list of suggested short clips, often even providing draft captions and hooks. I quickly eyeball the selections, polish up the ones I really like, and then export them for final use. If I ever require more granular editorial control, I will absolutely still drop the files into Descript or CapCut for final fine-tuning. But in at least 70% of situations, Vizard single-handedly saves me a massive chunk of the tedious grunt work. Another extremely neat feature is the integrated auto-scheduling and content calendar functionality. If you set your desired posting frequency and time windows, the system can queue up clips, saving you copywriting and upload anxiety. That's a game changer for creators who want consistency but genuinely hate the grind of manual posting tasks. Compare that to using a separate scheduler plus bucket folders, and you end up duplicating effort and creating more points of failure. Back to the editing timeline. Once your VO is clean and you've picked your clips, drop them in and mute the majority of them so your narration remains front and center. But leave a few of those natural sound effects unmuted where they really help to emphasize the story you are telling. Trim every single visual clip precisely to match the natural cadence and rhythm of your voiceover. Then, add your background music track at a very low volume so it supports the message without ever drowning out your voice. Captions are the final creative step, so auto-generate them first and then meticulously fix the timing and line breaks. People read faster than you think, so avoid creating massive walls of text that no one will bother to read. Make sure the first 1 or 2 lines are highly visible in the feed so a scroller instantly gets the hook, even without sound on. For export settings, 1080p is usually more than sufficient for all major social platforms. High-resolution 4K can look great initially, but platforms often re-encode it badly if you try to overdo the quality. Always save a backup of your final master file before exporting the social-ready version that you will actually upload. When you finally upload to the platform, add those last touches like music, a clear cover frame, and a snappy caption. Covers are the easiest thing to forget, so my lazy trick is to screenshot a strong frame and add some text and stories just for the cover. If you are using Vizard, it often auto-generates several thumbnail options, which is another tiny way it saves you effort. A quick note on tools. Keep Descript for precise audio cleanup and CapCut for all your fun, stylized mobile edits. For asset storage and collaboration with others, Frame.io or Drive remain solid, reliable choices. But if your main goal is consistent short-form content from long videos, Vizard is the most frictionless option I have used. It is not perfect. Sometimes it misses a subtle moment you'd pick manually, but its balance of automation and control is what makes it practical. Here are 2 quick psychology hacks to get you to actually finish these videos and stop procrastinating. 1. Adopt a minimum viable reel rule, meaning if footage can't make a 30-second clip, ship it rough and iterate later. 2. Use batching. Film 2 or 3 similar videos in one session, upload them all to Vizard, then pick and schedule the winners. Automation combined with batching is the ultimate way to kill creative fatigue before it ever sets in. If you want to try Vizard, just upload one long video and compare what it pulls out against the time you'd spend scrubbing manually. Chances are you will shave hours off your weekly content creation workload just by trying it once. But remember to keep using your other tools too, like Epidemic Sound for licensed tracks, or Descript for that deep audio cleanup. When used together, these separate pieces create one very fast and resilient workflow that actually gets results. All right, that's the entire process. Idea, outline, B-roll scales, sound assets, organization, VO first, audio cleanup, Vizard clips, captions, export 1080p, and finally post it. If you want more hands-on tutorials, like specific CapCut transitions or Descript shortcuts, I've got a bunch of deep dives ready for you. But if your main goal is stopping the overthinking and starting to post more consistently, try that Voiceover First plus Vizard combo. Catch you in the next video. Go film something random today and challenge yourself to make it look interesting. You'll seriously surprise yourself with what you are actually capable of creating.